Having the ability to observe your enemy from a safe distance has always been a useful strategy in wartime. One such ability is the use of aerial reconnaissance aircraft. In this video, we look at aerial reconnaissance during World War II and its impact on how the war was fought. As early as the 18th century, aerial reconnaissance has been used during conflict. It was first used with the assistance of manned balloons to look over battlefields. But once World War I began, the use of widespread aerial reconnaissance was employed through aircraft. The war would see many battles resulting in stalemates through trench warfare, so the importance of knowing the enemy positions was clear for all to see. As this was the first time it had been used on such a scale, there was a bit of trial and error, but for the most part the use was very successful. During World War II, aerial reconnaissance was used by both sides. Aircraft were manufactured in specific ways to allow for the use of specific cameras or equipment. The British trialled several different aircraft, but for the most part they utilised Spitfires and Mosquitoes, the latter of which was very successful given its higher fuel capacity and therefore a higher range. For the US and the Allies in general, probably the most widely used aircraft was the F-5B Lightning. This was the photo reconnaissance variant of the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. It had incredible speed and a high range which allowed it to photograph large areas of Europe as the war went on. Its development throughout the Pacific was particularly successful given the vast distances it needed to travel. For the Germans, the Focke-Wulf FW189 was used. This had a similar shape and design to the P-38 Lightning, as well as a decent range. But perhaps the strangest design for an aerial reconnaissance aircraft was the Blom & Voss BV-141. Just looking at it, you can see how strange it is. By all accounts, it appears as if it will topple over or not have the ability to fly. However, it actually could. But given the success of the FW189, the need for the BV141 to be produced in high numbers was just not there. Less than 50 of these were ever built. Aerial reconnaissance for the Allies would play a major part in several key battles of the war, one of which would be the invasion of France in June 1944. In the years leading up to the operation, thousands of photographs were obtained of different locations. This allowed the Allies to note areas of high troop buildup, movement of supplies, and most importantly, the situation with the defences on the beaches and further inland. You can see here with a photograph taken on a Normandy beach from a very low-flying reconnaissance aircraft. Note the Germans scrambling for cover and falling over themselves, as they likely believed they were about to be strafed from the aircraft. Even on D-Day, June 6, 1944, while the invasion was underway, photographs were being taken from high altitudes to note how the battle was progressing. As a tactic, aerial reconnaissance was very successful in World War II. It helped those that used it to better understand their enemies. After World War II, advancements in aerial reconnaissance only got better, with aircraft able to fly longer, higher and faster. The use of these aircraft are still seen today. Let us know your thoughts on aerial reconnaissance during World War II in the comments section down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to expand your knowledge and join the growing Premier History community.